You know, Twigs, it's a good thing that I like you because I'm really tired and I have a headache and I want to go to bed at flipping 5 p.m. But here I am making this for you. So this better be the best flipping water view you've ever seen in your life. This is my gameplay from last night, by the way. So we scrimmed last night. We had a new main tank. He was alright. He wasn't incredible, but I mean, he did his job. So I am going to go over what I did with him and how he played it as well. We're going to go over all that good stuff. So we're going to watch me. Sure, we're gonna watch him. Let's see what he did. I just want to judge him a little bit. I didn't get to see what he did last night. That's bad. I don't know what he's doing, where he's going. Basically, with double shield, you want to sort of find a position to hold and sit there. With the fortify changes and the Sigma grasp changes, it makes it so it's really hard to push you out of a position if you just kind of sit there and just don't move. It's scary pretty often to sort of have no shield, no fortify, but you have to trust that your supports are going to keep you up, and you have to trust that your Sigma as well. And I'll show you an example. So right now he's just sitting here holding a position. He's holding this front corner. He's a little bit further up. I mean, he's kind of out in the open a little bit, but he's got some cover right here. Yeah, you can see my cursor. Okay, he's got some cover right here. He's got some... but I'd like him ideally to be like this corner right here so that we... but I mean, this is fine. This just gives him a little bit of extra open space that I don't really like. This is where you are going to start coming in. You need to be fighting these positions to hold positions that are good for us for multiple different reasons. So a lot of the times you'll see owl teams hold up here. I actually really like this spot as well. You can contest cart from here. Like the very tip, you can contest cart from here, so they either have to go inside and deal with you from there, or they can't do anything because there's a ceiling and the walls and a floor and all that good stuff. So that's a good spot to hold. This is another good spot to hold just because you get this corner, you get nice cover, you can see through there, and there. Here, let me try to... Here, and here, you can see through. But right now, Ice is kind of giving you where to hold and kind of sort of guiding you about where you should be. I want you to start doing that on your own. I want you to be able to find these positions, to be able to hold, and him to be able to trust you to find good positions to put the team. Because you... that's all on you. The positioning, like where the team is completely on your shoulders. Because they will follow you. Whatever you do, they will follow you. So your positioning has to be perfect. And we're going to go over positions that me and Arista take here. So we hold this corner here eventually. I'm not sure when. But this corner gives us the silence that we need and also the cover to back up if we need to. There's a few things you got to think about when you're taking a position, right? You got to think of number one, is there cover? Number two, can we see the enemy? Number two, can the enemy see us? Is basically the three things they want to look for. Is there cover, number one? Can the enemy see us, and can we see them? Are the three things that you want to sort of look for. And also, option of fourth spot, is there an escape route, right? So, for example, this spot right here. Can you see the enemy? Yes. Can they see you? Yes, which is fine, of course, because like, you know, like it's more of, can they see too much of you, right? Like if you're sitting up here, right? Maybe not up here. Maybe if we were to hold like right here, right? This corner, right? We can see them up here. We can't see them if they were to come over here, right? But we would have to, or we can. We have a hard time seeing them coming through here. We can't see them over on here because of this wall. So holding here is bad, right? Like there's kind of this escape route, but you have to go over this weird, like you have to go over this weird metal section in order to cross over into cover. So that's why this position is bad, right? It's because you can't see the enemy, but they know where you are and they can see you. Number 2, there is cover, and there is kind of an escape route, but the cover is very limited. They can see through this door, they can see through this door, they can come from behind you as well. Whereas you can see the cart, kind of, and you can hold here, but in order to get to a better vantage point, in order to get to a new position, you have to cross this massive, wide, oh my gosh, this massive wide street here, and you don't want to do that. Because the second you, with the new shield changes, so this is why I'm making this video, is because of these shield changes. When you rotate over an open area like that, your shields are going to die, and you are going to die really, really, really fast. Shields break so fast now that you have that all this is needing to be relearned by tanks. Thankfully, I learned this a long time ago, so I don't need to relearn it. But people that have been playing in goats and playing in double shield don't understand this concept. So I'm making this so that we all are on the same page and we all understand how to use said positioning. Okay, so that's why up here is a good hold. It's a good hold only if your Sigma knows what he's doing and you have a good Sigma, because he can block here, he can block here, and you can sort of see where they're going, you sort of know where they're going, but your Sigma has to kind of have that third eye. And also once, say they like break your shield, their Orisa shield, your Sigma shield's getting around, they're start to pinch you, you can either go number 1 up the stairs to the castle, you can go behind, back to your spawn, or you can go out this way and also back up. Right, so there's multiple escape routes. You can see them, they can see you, all that good stuff. So let's go over some sort of like me and him playing together and how this combo kind of works. So I sort of let him pick a position, and then so he's gonna pick this corner. I'm pretty sure right here he's gonna set up. Yep. He's a little bit further out than I'd like him to be. I'd like him to be a little closer to this wall. Usually when I play Orisa, I like my shield to hug the wall. It's like right here, so that I can sort of peek against this corner right here. And the shield's a little bit protected even with the cover, but so I can peek and I can get a really good angle. I'll show you on Havana what I mean, because I do play Orisa on Havana on my other account, so I'll show that as well. So take a look at our positioning right now, our team's positioning. It's really good. So here's what's happening. We sort of have our BAP up here looking down on us and being able to help. I'm in here and I'm sort of holding my own angle, just spamming them as they come through, right? Because they have to come through one of these doorways unless they want to go really weird and go like around. So I'm always here to just spam damage, and the only time I have to rotate is when they start pushing out Orisa, which I do, and you'll see me do it in a second. And then our Hanzo is helping to break Orisa's shield, as well as getting some nice spam damage at his position. And it's really hard to capitalize on our positioning from the enemy team, is because we're so spread out and there's so many different things that they could do. So what they try to do is they try to push this Orisa, right? And here's what happens. So once you take this split position, oh my gosh, that's annoying. Once you try to take this split position, it's fine, but you have to come back to your Orisa once they start pushing here. So I get a ton of damage, and I'm trying to build. The reason why I take the split positioning instead of just sitting with Orisa is because I'm trying to build Flux. I'm coming up on it, and I really need it for the next fight that we're gonna have after this one. So I need to build it this fight. And there's me. Okay, so you notice how the second that they round this corner and take the corner, I'm right here and I'm ready, and I round the corner and protect Orisa from this ult. Same with the field, we're all ready for it, right? And then, you know, yada yada yada. So right now, you can see Orisa. Let's go back a little bit. Actually, we'll go back a few seconds. We'll see how she plays this, how he plays this, I should say. Goes for the halt above the payload. By the way, side note, halting with a payload is literally the best thing ever, because everybody's gonna try to hide on different sides of the payload, and just halting at the very top of it will just yoink them all up and on top of the payload, because they're gonna land on top of the payload so that you can shoot them even more. See, look, there Ursa purposely put the shield exactly here because it forces them to take the corner, and it allows them to start using this cover now because this shield is here. And so that forces Orisa to fortify and back up because her shield is now broken. But also she is really, really tanky and it's really hard to kill her. So they then force this position, and Orisa, once they take that corner, they start using ults because they know that they now have that cover advantage. But we're ready for it. Another big ult. I don't know what he was doing there. He definitely could have fortified. But yeah, you notice how our Orisa was kind of, she didn't retake that corner. We weren't aggressive. We didn't take the space back against them, even though we were up, right? So what we should have done there. So the second that this Pharah dies, we should have pushed back on the corner, but instead we give them the corner, okay? And we sort of just hold on this weird payload angle, right? Which is okay because the payload is pretty decent cover, but it's not good enough because they get advantage. And here, I'll show you why, right? So the reason why cover advantage is so nice is because their Mercy just res their Pharah for free by hiding behind cover. Orisa's is getting low, so she hides behind cover. And they can all do this for free, and we can't, right? We don't have cover because we lost that cover advantage, okay? So here's what happens this fight, right? Their Orisa is able to heal up. Their Pharah is able to get rezzed. Our Pharahs get taken out because she's out in the open. We get halted into the dragons, and we die, right? If we were to push that advantage, if we were to push back and get our cover advantage back, we could have stopped at the res, we could have killed the Orisa. That's why cover is so important, because it's literally an advantage, right? Because if we had cover, we could have done all that, right? We could have rezzed our Pharah. We could have we could have healed up our tanks, right? But we couldn't because we took this really weird middle of nowhere angle, and the shield broke instantly, and then they ulted us and we died. So you can see how the positioning by Orisa that fight, the reason we lost, the singular reason that we lost that fight is because he didn't put his shield further enough into cover, or to take that corner back. That's why we lost. That sole reason is why we lost that fight. Which, since you're the Orisa player on our team, is going to fall entirely on your shoulders. That's sad. I don't know what that Orisa is doing. Actually, I do know what the Orisa is doing. She was trying to hold this ground, but I don't think anybody was with her. I think it was a good spot to hold, but nobody was following up with her. Because if she were to hold this front corner right here as we were going out, it would pinch us into this weird area. That's another thing about... That's another thing about corners, right? So, I don't know if you were there for that Jane video that I watched once upon a time, but if you go back here... Think about here. Yeah, about here. So, not so much on Eichenwald because of this castle that you can go through, but normally on maps, if this castle wasn't here and it's just a giant wall, what would happen is, right, their backline is going to be sitting here on payload, and they're going to have to squeeze themselves, like, so here's what's going to happen, right, in the fight. I'll go up and I'll use my cursor here if you can see it. So, because I can't draw. It's so sad. So what's going to happen is their backline is going to be back here, their front is going to be up here, and they're going to push, right? And they're going to push this corner. And the backline is going to have to spread really weird, and they're going to have to put themselves in this nice little line right here. And their backline is going to have to push against this wall right here to get cover. But there's this and there's this, so that's not really much of a problem on this map. But normally stuff like King's Row, stuff that's really tight, like Control Center, that kind of stuff. That's the reason corners are so important, is because of this, right? It squeezes them into this small area where you can then either number one ult, number two just hit them with tons of damage constantly. Let's see if they do it here. I think they take better positions then. But yeah, you see how they're rounding this corner? And how the BAP and the Hanzo kind of have to squeeze themselves against this wall right here. They have the payload, so they're pretty safe, nonetheless. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Basically, it's just a massive advantage, and I'm sort of explaining why. Wow, that was a horrible ult by our Pharah there. It's funny, their Pharah did what our Pharah did what their Pharah did. It's kind of funny. Sorry, let me blow my nose really quick. I can't really. Can I mute my mic? I think I can. Maybe that did it. Nope, that didn't do it. Alright, you know what? You just get to hear my nasty snot. You ready? Oh, delicious. Alright, continue. I also need to go pee-pee, so I'm gonna wrap this up here pretty soonish. So let's watch. I'm gonna watch me that fight. Let's see what I do, because I'm pretty sure I played this pretty well. So I'm constantly watching Orisa. That's what I was doing. I was peeking back here, making sure she was okay. And I know that they want to round this corner. And so I'm ready for when they do. I'm ready to rotate when they do. So they're in the corner. I come back. I go to put it. There are shield breaks, so I go to put down another shield, and then I drop it when Pharah starts ulting, and then I put down another one. I should have actually taken the shield there. That was a mistake, but I try to capitalize. So what I tried to do, I tried to capitalize on the low Orisa by pushing the corner, but my Orisa wasn't with me. It's bad communication and bad Orisa play. But I end up dying here because I get booped in. Yeah. I don't know why I tried to grasp a rock. So I think I've explained this before to Hawk, but Sigma is there to do what Orisa can't. Sigma, like, Orisa holds a position and she just doesn't die because of Fortify, because of Halt, because you can halt people backwards. I'll show you that on Havana as well. But basically she just holds a position and just sits there, and you can't move her. Especially now with BAP, he can eye field her too. And so everybody just sits there. Like Orisa can just sit all day, and you can't kill her. And that is accentuated. And normally you'd be able to push her back, and you'd be able to sort of walk on top of her with like a rape or whatever. But Mei makes that problem so much worse because you can wall off whoever tries to do it first. So if normally it's Ryan, right? Ryan tries to push that, push the Orisa's first. Normally she's on a corner, and if we do, then Ryan's gonna get walled and die. That's one of the reasons why Mei is so good in this meta, is because she helps Orisa be unkillable. Going off of what I said before, I forgot to say this, but another reason why Mei is so good in this meta right now is because we're gonna go over the same corner here. So if we're holding this corner, right, we get this whole area to ourselves, right? If they ever push past this, they try to take the corner, we can wall them, right? So wall is back in Goats. I don't remember if you're part of Goats or not. So what we would do, right, is we would hold a corner like this, right? So we'd hold right here. No, you were here for Ghosts. Yeah. So we'd hold like a corner, like right here, say. And the second that they rounded this corner, and the second they passed this imaginary line right here that goes from the cover to the other cover, we would push them and kill them, right? That's what would happen every single time. So what we do now is we can actually Mei wall them and do that same thing, but use a wall. which is so much more helpful because it makes the process so much easier and so much quicker. I think the problem that you have on Orisa is you are too afraid to press W. You are in the mindset of sitting on a high ground position and sort of, making that your home, like the sort of like bunkering up kind of thing. Double shield bunkers up well, but it's a moving bunker, right? You got to think of it like that. It's like, well, you're kind of in your own house right now, or like old Orisa, right? Old Orisa was like, she would build her house, she'd put down the bricks, she'd make the fireplace, she'd put down the furniture, and she'd just sit there, right? Now you're kind of in an RV, right? You kind of have this mobile home, right? Where you and Sigma would drive the car, and when you get to the place that you're going to, Orisa comes and sets up all the nice furniture and all the stuff, and she's, the awning that goes on top, and then you have your nice dinner, right? And then the next day, Orisa, packs up, Sigma takes the car and drives you to your next destination. That's kind of the way that this works, right? Sigma takes you to the places that you want to go. Orisa, once you are to those places, she sets up and starts doing her thing. That's kind of how this comp needs to be working. You kind of need to be one singular unit, which is why one of the reasons it's so difficult. So Orisa just feeds her brains out. Again, it was a good play by her, but it wasn't followed up on. Orisa takes a good position here, this front corner. We want to take this position because of where the payload is. We could push back up here, but then they could just go castle anyway and then push the payload once they get up here, which we don't want to happen. So we could pick one or two places, this place or this place. Personally, I like this place better. It forces them through this tiny bit of castle or over the entire bridge. And the entire bridge is, it's open, massively open, almost zero cover. You can get booped. There's a lot of things that could happen, which is why I don't like holding this position. There's like, for cover you have that. That's pathetic. For cover you have like this. You can go behind here, go to this wall. You can go in here. You got a few options. I'm not sure where we hold here, so let's watch. Also, I really need to pee super badly. I don't like this position either. I don't know where we're trying to go here. I don't know what he's doing. He needs to set up. Yeah, Orisa's not very good. I'll show you a better example when we get to Havana. I don't like this position for this exact reason. You see them pushing underneath? Because we set up our shield here, and they literally just walk underneath. And they're able to set up before we do. I'm pretty sure we lose this fight, if I remember correctly. We might actually win this because of wave ults. I think I fluxed them here. I'm taking the position so I can just spam them out before they get to it. And I think Orisa tried to follow me in doing that same thing, which is, kind of my fault for not communicating what I was doing, but at the same time, that's kind of just what I always do as a player. I'm so mad. Look at this, dude. Literally four people, 5 counting Orisa. 5-man flux. Slam them all down. They're all 1 health, and there's 1 immortality field. This saves their entire team and loses us the fight. Watch. They're all 1. No one kills the field. I try to go finish up my kills. I get pushed. I get rocked. I die. I'm so mad. It was a bad play by me because I should have, waited for I-field, but I just saw the opportunity, went for it, and I'm really upset. Anyway, continuing. So they're gonna try to push this front corner, right? I don't know what Orisa was doing. I think that was actually Sigma's fault. Sigma couldn't keep Orisa up. It was actually a really good spot to take, this little spawn door right here. Because then they can't push the point. Or, it's going to be awkward to try to force it. I play Ryan here, I forgot about that. I'm kind of a nutty Ryan player, dude. Not even gonna lie. I die here though. Anyway, so this part really doesn't matter because I'm playing Ryan, but I hope that sort of you know, that sort of concept makes sense of how you two are supposed to be working together. Now I'm gonna go over a VOD for you specifically of my gameplay today that I did on Havana, and then at some point I'll do one for Hawk, probably of his own gameplay, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'm gonna go do yours.